Hello, it's time to talk about forecasting for next school year 2024. We're going to go through the outline of what we're going to talk about today, as well as what you're going to receive and how to work through those materials to prepare for next year. Okay, so today we're gonna note the handbook is online. You'll receive your transcript in your forecasting sheet. We're going to talk through the timeline, why we need to get adults involved in this process, how to select your courses, including what you need versus what you want. And we have new pathways, so we'll talk through those. And also just let everybody know you're going to have a chance to meet with your counselor to make sure that your forecasting form is complete, as well as to walk you through how to enter that so it's ready to go as we start to develop a schedule for next year. So materials, today you are going to receive your transcript and your forecasting sheet. Please make sure that you staple those together and keep them together. Your transcript is also available in your student view account in documents. So you already have access to that, but we want those paper documents together just for quick reference as we are both building schedules as well as fixing them once the actual final master schedule is built. The handbook is going to be found online, just in case there are additions and deletions. We want to make sure that it's as updated as possible. So the online format is what we will utilize for 10, 11, and 12th graders. And just new things to think about or new ideas if you haven't thought about them. We do have career pathways that are brand new this year, and they are ways for you to guide through courses and interests that may pique a career idea for you. And it's a way to kind of get some experience and information around that content area. And it likely will relate back to your U Science that you took earlier this school year. Want to highlight dual credit is available. So spots where you can earn high school credit as well as college credit. Not only does that give you some training, but it also saves you time and money down the road. And then lastly, if you have consideration, want to get on the advanced track for courses and your core content areas, as well as some electives, want to make sure that you note, if you'd like to, that the honors diploma information is found on page 13 of the handbook as you're navigating that. So our timeline is getting information today. You have an entire week to work through this process. So you want to review, look through the handbook, think through what core classes you want to take, make sure you're looking through your electives as well. Get sign-offs from both adults at home and the staff members here at school for the next week. And then forecasting sheets will be turned in the following Wednesday on the 17th. We will start meeting with students as counselors the week of the 14th. So if you are ready, prepared, and you went through your courses over the weekend and you're ready to go, all you need to do is drop that off early and let us know you'd like to meet early, and we'll start pulling students to talk through their course selections. We will start with seniors first and then progress through rising juniors and rising sophomores. Your group here will be considered rising 10th graders because that's where we will be next year. Okay. Really important, we want to involve your adults at home. So make sure that you're looking through that. The bottom portion of your forecasting sheet will have a sign off there. Make sure that the reason you understand the reason we involve the adults is you're not the only one invested in your future. They want to see what goals you've set for yourself and help you work toward those. They understand as well your strengths, weaknesses, and skills so that they can give some insight into courses that might make sense for you to consider. They can also help you manage the level of rigor. So if you want to take a challenge, something you haven't done yet, having them part of that conversation is super helpful because sometimes that affects your stress level and they can support you better at home. And also sharing your interests can help increase your motivation and interest and investment in a pathway. So making sure other people know can help you celebrate your opportunity there. So the pathways, again, are just another way to guide you through your electives and your course selections. It's a way to give you some experience working toward your future. It's a recognition at graduation, and there are a lot of incentives that can go along with that. So whether it's the field that you enter, if you go right into the workforce, it could mean a higher pay rate. It could mean a stronger application for an apprenticeship or an internship. It could also mean incentives for things like scholarships and funding for the training that you pursue after high school. So lots of options after high school. This pathway, though, could help guide you through that. It's also an opportunity for you to say you want to try out a couple different things and narrow down some ideas while you're in high school. That is a low risk, no cost opportunity for you. So just remember that it's a way for you to invest in your future, can save you things like time and money and training after high school. And then one more note on the honors diploma. If you do want to receive that top honor in your class as the valedictorian or salutatorian, which are recognized at graduation, It is a requirement to earn that honors diploma, and it's a minimum of a 3.3 GPA and goes through an advanced track of several subject areas. You can see all those highlighted again on page 13 of your handbook if you want to note that on your forecasting sheet. So course selections, we want to make sure that you're looking through thoroughly and carefully through the handbook, not just checking boxes on your forecasting sheet. The handbook gives you a description of what all those courses are. We want to make sure that as you are selecting those, that you are prioritizing, making sure that you're putting number one on line one of both your electives and your alternatives. And then you want to make sure that you're also using your transcript to guide your courses, making sure that you're selecting the things that you need as well as the things that you're interested in. And then note there's several spots where we need a staff member to sign off on. So someone you currently have. It's okay if you had a pause in a core content area where you need a signature. You can always circle back to a teacher you had earlier in the year. Just very important. We don't want to interrupt instruction. So if you need to get, as you need to get signatures, make sure you're doing that outside of class time. So between classes, before and after school are the time to do that. Do not interrupt an instructor while they're teaching, and you're not allowed to leave class to get those signatures. So make sure you're doing that outside of class time, getting sign-offs and asking for recommendations. And even if you don't need to sign off, but you just want someone's opinion on what you should take, it's fine to go back and talk to your staff members that you've already worked with this year and ask for their thoughts. That's completely fine. And then just make sure they remember that this process allows us to build a schedule that serves all of your interests instead of just saying we have X number of sections of each class. So it's really important that you tell us exactly what you want so we can build the best schedule and everyone can get the courses that they want, as well as making sure they're your choices. When you sit down with a friend or a partner and pick classes together, there's no guarantee how many sections there will be, and it's not likely you will be in the same section. So make sure those choices are unique for you and your needs, and you can see your people outside of your class time. So just to walk through your transcript so that everybody understands what's on here and how to use it, it's going to show you your first trimester grades, those first 5 classes that you took, the GPA that you earned, as well as how many credits that you earned. And then this is your second trimester here. And this will just keep building throughout high school, and you'll end up with 60 grades on your transcript by the time you graduate. And then the last trimester is on here, the third trimester, but it says work in progress. These are the current classes you're enrolled in. And as you know now, those grades won't be final until June. So you got to work through this trimester, and then those will post as well. So those will be on there. Your transcript, again, is found in Student View under Documents. So this is just a snapshot of what the credits look like on there for you. But again, please keep those with your forecasting sheet. So this is showing you what is required in this column, what you have completed, what you're currently taking, and this shows you what is left that you need for your diploma. So 26 credit diploma, and making sure that you understand we need applied arts, which is business courses, any performing or visual arts, and technology. So those all, and world language, those all fall in applied arts. And then you have, this will take senior year, which is senior seminar, personal finance, number of electives, which can be any class that you have interest in, and they can be additional core if you'd like it to be. 2 health classes, you'll take one next year as a 10th grader and one as a junior. English, language arts, you'll take every single year. Math, you need up to 3 years, if not more. And that you're working towards this year, and we'll progress through, and we'll go over that in the forecasting sheet here shortly. PE, likely y'all took it or are taking it currently, freshman PE, and then you'll select another option next year or the next 2 years. So you have the next 3 years really to pick at least one more class, which again, you can take more than just one. Science, everyone should have been taking either biology or advanced biology this year, so that's on there. And then social studies, you completed social studies 1 by the end of this year. You'll take 2 and 3 the next couple of years. And there's another advanced option as you progress as well. And then technology. So it just shows you what is left, and you can use that to help select your courses. Okay. So forecasting sheet, you're all going to get one of these. They're going to be blue, and for 10th graders. So first off, this is just your core section here. It's the first half of the top of the front page. So making sure that you know what these designations are. They're all listed, just the description of them and what the course will cover in the handbook. So we're going to be checking those. You do have the option to take advanced English next year. So you can take English 2 or advanced English. You do need to have an A or a B to move on to that advanced course, and you need a teacher sign off on that for the advanced one. Everyone will take Health 1. Math will depend on your progression where you're at right now. So you'll move through, and there's a flow chart in the handbook. So check that and make sure that you get teacher sign off. If you completed geometry last trimester, that's fine. Just make sure you circle back and get a sign off from your teacher. And then for science, everyone will take integrated science, and then you can take additional science if you'd like to as well. If you have questions about those courses, please feel free to circle by and check in with a science teacher. And again, check the course descriptions as well. And then very bottom here is social studies 2, which everyone will take as a graduation requirement. So those are your core classes for next year. And then on the bottom here, we have electives. And so this is the courses, again, maybe in that career pathway, things that you want to complement or continue on, all listed on the back, making sure that you're putting number 1 at the top and you're prioritizing. So these are your top choices for things that you want to take outside of your core classes, and these are your backups. So make sure that you're filling those out completely, as well as counting out your trimesters. So typically you're going to have about 7, but if you were to put something like symphonic band on the top line here, that would be 3 trimesters. So make sure that you then only go down to the 4th line, because that would make it 7 if these 3 are only a single trimester. So just making sure that you're checking through the number of trimesters as well. Then the bottom, alternates, again, you're putting in priority order. And there's a couple statements here, just making sure you understand we're trying to plan your entire year for next year for all students. It's important to look through exactly what you want to take as core and electives, and that you understand by you choosing these classes, you have chosen them. And because of that, we will not be doing schedule changes, because we are setting the whole schedule for the entire school year, trying to balance out class sizes and when your electives fall, when your core classes fall. So we don't reshuffle each trimester, which is why we have the schedule change policy. And then we're going to make sure that we do everything that we can to get the courses that you want, and unless there are conflicts. And so that's when we put in the alternates. So make sure you understand that alternates are there in case 2 of the courses you pick up here are offered at the exact same time or offered at the same time as your core classes. And then we're going to have you sign off as well as an adult at home. So making sure those are sign offs that you get taken care of, as well as the ones from staff. The back side of your forecasting sheet, this is the upper portion, all the classes you can take. You can see it's more than doubled what was available to you as a freshman last year. So just know you can look through these and make sure that you're notating some courses are multiple trimesters, or there might be a progression to work through, and make sure that you're taking them in order. Then the only other thing to keep track of is there are some things that notate whether you need a form for them, or whether or not you need whether or not you need sign-offs. So be checking that. And then all these P's also tell you that they're a career pathway idea. And then quick note, if you have either English language development or have taken Learning Lab, make sure you're checking with your case manager as well, because your support classes would fall in that elective sign-off area. So check with them, ask questions as you have them. And then the very bottom portion here is graduation plans. These are the things that we're going to discuss in addition to your courses when we meet with counselors meet with you. So make sure you're checking off any interests that you have. If you have more than one pathway that you want to pursue or you're thinking through, note those down here. If you're interested in honors diploma, just put a little check mark and X there. University requirements are different than graduation requirements. Make sure you understand that you do need world language to go to a university or a college for 4 years. So just make sure that you know that. And then mark that if you're interested. And then if you also potentially have the interest to continue participating in athletics, there are some requirements that are different in that as well. So make sure you're checking that. We can cover that with you. Lastly, we're going to progress through seniors first, then juniors, then sophomores. So please mark down any questions that you have so you don't forget. And then we'll collect your forms and then circle back to students to meet one-on-one. So it might be a little gap there of time just for a couple of weeks. So make sure you write those notes down now so we can remember to answer those and cover all the questions that either you or your family have. So please use that space to make sure we can thoroughly give you all the information that you need. And again, the handbook is online, so making sure you know where to find that. And then also you have an entire week again to get both adults at home to sign off as well as staff. So make sure you're taking advantage of that time, and then know that you're going to turn it in on Wednesday. So that is our timeline. We're excited to get things kicked off for next year. So please utilize some time here as well as at home and over the weekend. Get your things prepared, and we're going to turn things in next Wednesday on the 17th. Right? We look forward to meeting with you soon.